Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, BA'Hashem, YAHAWASHI, BA'Hashem, Wakwak, double honors to the elders and apostles, Slakia, of great millstone, shalom to my Ak and Wakwafim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Let me also get this. It's another one good precept. First Peter. First Peter chapter 2, verse 2, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. So, Slaki, today's lesson is going to be in terms of being receptive to information, information that most people wouldn't really necessarily accept at first glance, and the inspiration, as well as another kind of topic, I guess, that I'm going into right now is Yahawashi's genealogy, which basically is like, or his pedigree, so to speak, because people are mistaken and they think that his genealogy is only of Mary, when that's not what the scriptures say, and the scriptures actually go into it. Okay, so let's get that in Luke chapter 3, verse 23. And Yahawashi himself began to be about 30 years of age, being as was supposed, which that is an addition. All right, the son of Joseph, which was the son of Heli, and it keeps on going down. And it keeps on going down his his lineage, okay, which goes, not down, but up his lineage, all the way up to Adam, all the way up to, first off, let me actually get the notable ones. So first off, it says that Yahawashi's father is Joseph, okay, so Joseph is his biological father. All right, so all that bullshit of people saying that, God raped Mary, or God did this, God this, that, and third, whatever, or Joseph's a cuck and whatnot, like all that shit is just out the window. These people, anyone that thinks otherwise, they just don't know the Bible. All right, they don't read, they just don't know. You have people that will literally just joke about stuff, okay, which honestly, Slocky, that's another thing. This is a quick rant, but that's another thing where you have Christians, okay, Christians, atheists, agnostics, and people and stuff like that have no issue, that have no problem with ridiculing and joking about the Most High Yahawah, but all those other exact same people, okay, they won't disrespect Islam, okay, and even even Muslims respect their own religion to the point where they're not going to make jokes or try to or even attempt to ridicule their the thing. All right, even though they're wrong, even though they're off, even though they're wrong, and even though they're off, they don't say, I'm gonna joke or make fun of my God or my prophets or anything like that. All right, they're not disrespectful, unlike Christians. Christians are a disrespectful bunch, and they don't treat their God with any sort of respect, and by extension, they treat the God of the Bible, or YAHAWASHI, with disrespect. Okay, so that's just one thing I just really wanted to point out. I made a lesson on this before, but just in general, I just do not like that type of timing, that type of behavior from people who claim to love Yahawadah. You do not, if you had fear, respect, and love for Yahawadah, you would not be making the jokes that you make. All right, they make fun of freaking what's his name, Abraham, for needing to sacrifice Isaac, saying what's it called, they were making they basically say like, hey, go Abraham, go sacrifice your son. Oh, psych, I wasn't really like that. I wasn't really I really didn't need you to do that type of stuff like that, where it's again like this is the type of behavior that is beyond me. And even when I was in the world, I before, when I was Christian, whatnot, as a child, even then I had enough fear in me to actively have some semblance of respect and some semblance of, even when I would think about saying something, just in my mind, I would think, oh my God, is the Lord angry with me because I thought this, I thought that, or something like that, or I said this just in my head, where I'm not even saying it, I'm not openly proclaiming or openly trying to say like any type of blasphemous thing, but still, like, I have the sense, the fear, and the respect to, at the very least, be like, okay, I'm not even gonna, I don't want to get caught with that in my mind of saying this, because I know that the Lord, he sees all and hears all. Okay, he knows. Let me see that. Let me get that, as a matter of fact. Proverbs, I can't remember. Sees. Oh my God, let me just get it over here. Proverbs 15. Yeah, I don't care. I'm gonna be doing this from now on. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 3. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. Luke chapter 16, verse 15. And he said unto them, Ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but Yahweh knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of Yahweh. All right, so yeah, basically, this is the a very big aspect of it, where you have to be able to acknowledge that the Lord does in fact see all things, and he sees what we're thinking, what's in our hearts, how we truly feel about him. You can say all you want, oh, I'm a God-fearing Christian, whatnot, but in actuality, do your actions, support that sentiment that you verbalize? Okay, does in the inside of your heart, does your mind actually, correspond with the things that you say and the actions that you do out in public for men to see? All right, continuing on. Oh yeah, so back to Luke chapter 3, okay, with the genealogy of Yahawashi. I just want to get this. Let me see. There was. So there's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So yeah, he is an Israelite. That's one of the indicators. All right. I think this is David, King David, more specifically. Because that was one of the prophecies where he had to have been King David, a descendant from King David. All right, so I believe that is King David over here in verse 31. Okay, I could get the verification, but let's just continue on. But so yeah, basically, I guess that's multiple things where, this lesson's about those three things, where it's first the fact that Yahawashi is in fact the son of Joseph, so he's not. And it's like the thing is that when you go to the term virgin is not necessarily always used for like a woman that's never had sex or a person that's never had sex. That's just something that people use today. Okay, which that's the thing. People are taking the modern definitions of terms when even with the bunch of games that I have played as a kid. All right, even I already knew lots of different things because of like these medieval type speeches in these games, like stuff like that. Like Final Fantasy had a lot of that. There was Final Fantasy 9 and stuff like that where they do, oh my lord, this fair maiden, this fair virgin, whatever, and stuff like that, where it's very, very clearly it is it's not clearly defined, but you get the general understanding of what the true meaning and the purpose and intent behind the words that are being used. All right, so yeah, that was another thing. That was one of the things that I wanted to kind of like I wanted to bring to attention, as well as the second aspect, which is people. This was actually unplanned, but the second aspect, which was people not fearing the Lord, yet you have so many people that claim Christianity, but yet still at the same time, those people that claim Christianity have no. As a matter of fact, there was this one so-called Asian dude, all right, that I saw literally makes, and also another Jake, all right, just look, so-called black-looking dude. Two people that I've seen that have a bunch of followers, all right, a bunch of following, through just skits and stuff like that. And those two specifically, one I know, one of the name is Long Beach Griffey. The second one, I don't remember the dude's name, but I did a video on him where I forgot what I was talking, but I did a video on him about, maybe it was about this, but the main thing is just in general how people, they don't have the fear of the Lord, and they are, or I think it was just this being disrespectful and blaspheming and taking the Lord or as a joke and whatnot. Okay, like basically mocking YAHAWAH, and it's very funny that you have people that claim to be Christian but yet are still willing to mock the Lord. All right, it's like, it just goes to show that they read the Bible because they're aware of the stories, but they don't actually read the Bible and comprehend the actual fear. Okay, let me actually get that as a matter of fact. Oh my God, okay, fear. Proverbs chapter 1 verse 7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Okay, so this is the thing where you see so many, you see these quote unquote Christians, making money off of ridiculing the scriptures and the lessons that are put in the words. And again, like, I just want to point out, like, if you do not have the spirit of fear in you, to think that if to think that you are walking on eggshells with the Lord YAHAWAH. Okay, that's how you should be thinking. Okay, the reason why is because that is what helps you to better take the right path better. Okay, or not necessarily, yes, take the right path, but at the same time, like, more so be more aware of the things that you're doing, the things that you're saying, and that you think to yourself, would the Lord be okay that I said that? All right, because the thing is, I've had to adjust. Okay, now more so than ever, especially being the truth, because I remember this one time. Okay, I was playing in this tournament. All right, I was playing a game in this tournament. I was trying my best to win. It was like a high stakes stuff and stuff like that. There's money on the line. All right, and I'm over here sweating, being so stressed out and stuff like that. And then I finally win. And then what do? I scream, hell yes, this under blah blah. That's all me. I literally said word for word, that's all me. All right. And then right then and there, I remember my blood brother telling me, hey, no, it's not you. That's the Lord. He basically were reminding me not to say that type of shit. And it was earlier on, and it's like, I basically calmed my ass down. Because like I literally recognize that major fuck up in me saying that. Like, that's not something that I should have said. Okay, like that's not a good thing. It doesn't matter that I practice the combos like 20 times a day, or I got the thing, or I played neutral, all this type of stuff and whatnot. It doesn't matter that I put in work. At the end of the day, the Lord is the one that blessed me with the capability, the capacity, and the talent, if you want to call it that, to be able to even be able to be to do well, and the opportunity to even win. All right. So again, it's like I had to really take a step back. I just my whole ego deflated, but at the same time, I was still happy that I won. But it was like I really just did not want to. I really just did not want to act like that or say that type of stuff in that type of way anymore. Like, I felt like that's a shameful thing to do, especially given that I claim to be in the truth, but I'm saying that type of thing. Like, that's the type of stuff that I expect Jake to say, or Esau. That's not something that's not a phrase that should ever come out of my mouth. So of course, honestly, I think there is some shame that comes in me just admitting to have said that, regardless of if I've repented or not. Okay, but because I did repent immediately after I did say I apologize. I prayed on it and whatnot, and still, like, that doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it okay. It's not okay. I shouldn't have said that. And I know I sound like a broken record, but like, this is the type of mindset. This is an example of how you should be thinking. You shouldn't be thinking that you have any kind of power. It is literally because of that mindset of we having the power that you got. The freaking Black Panthers who literally failed. They had weapons and stuff like that. They had all that stuff planned, and then what their leader he got freaking drugged and betrayed, and then his freaking wife, after he died, she basically took a shot at just the faith believers, or the people that are waiting for YAHAWASHI, we're waiting on YAHAWASHI to deliver us, okay, by saying this in that same way that the so-called white man killed my husband, is the same way that the so-called white man can kill you while you're praying. That's basically what she said, roughly paraphrasing. And the thing is that it goes to show just how stupid and disrespectful Jake and Eve are, because you chose and you tried to fight back, okay, or your husband, whatever, your husband tried to fight back and he failed, all right. So then, instead of just shutting the fuck up, okay, taking your loss in the decision that you've tried to do, all right, you take it upon yourself to throw a shot at the Lord YAHAWAH, right, and his prophets, his followers, rather than just you just lost. Your method clearly didn't work. And, that's the thing. That's the thing with Jake. Jake is so fixated on constantly doing their way, never trying the Lord's way, or never trying waiting on the Lord, waiting on the deliverance, that they're just going to keep on doing the same damn thing. There was this one video on Jubilee where it's, does the older so-called black people agree with younger so-called black people? And you got this another retarded ass Eve, okay? Another retarded ass Eve, completely different woman, who's basically saying you have to, you even though we failed at making a change, you have to keep on doing the exact same things that we do. You're the leaders. You guys need to keep on doing the same thing that we do. There's no change. Like, there's not going to be a change unless you keep on doing the exact same retarded thing that we failed at doing, that we did not succeed in, and doing it again. Just try doing it again. Like, don't worry about anything else. Just keep on playing Esau's game, being at a constant disadvantage in life. All right. So it's like I'm flabbergasted at the stupidity in the way that you have these older Jakes, these older Eves. Slakia, these older Jakes and these older Eves, telling us the proper way and what's not the right way, acting as if they. Slakia, let me get that, as a matter of fact. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 31. The hoary head is a crown of glory if it be found in the way of righteousness. I'm going to just skip to the part where I explain it to you and break this down. Hoary head basically means gray hairs, and gray hairs, Yahawashi had Yahawashi had gray hair. Like that's in Revelation chapter 1:7-10, I believe, where Yahawashi, he had gray hairs because of all the stress and all the wisdom and knowledge that he had, okay? And that's this thing where you have these older people, these old Jakes, that they have gray hairs, but they got that gray hair from just old age. That there's the two different ways of getting gray hairs, where you can get gray hairs through, oh my god, Slakia, you can get gray hairs through having a lot of wisdom, or you can just get gray hairs naturally through old age. And the thing about that is, Slakia, the thing about that is, like, it's not like your gray hairs don't mean jack shit if you are out here spewing nonsense. The gray hair is supposed to be a crown of glory. The gray hair is supposed to mean you're intelligent. You're worth a salt. You actually understand. You have some actual wisdom and knowledge to share. Okay, that's why most people, they respect their elders. They expect anything that an old person says to be smart and intelligent. But for me personally, Slakia, speaking as a man, I'm not even trying to glaze myself, but I'm just speaking in general. Ever since I've been in this truth specifically, ever since I've grown in the truth specifically, I've started to see the bullshit, and I'm starting to not give a damn about what these old people are saying. That's why I really have a hard time respecting my elders now compared to before. Because before, I when I was a kid and whatnot, teenager or whatever, I would just do the obligation of respecting my elders and whatnot, and I still do the obligatory thing. But when it comes to advice and stuff like that, I really do not give 2.5 fucks about what an old person has to say. I genuinely don't care unless it's something that I'm not knowledgeable in. Like I can't listen to them. I cannot listen to them talk, and I already can't listen to people in general talk, because people are stupid, honestly. And it's lucky for getting so far off topic. This is just the spirit. The spirit's gonna get on me to say and rebuke these people that need to be rebuked. All right. So let's continue on YAHAWASHI. Now we already read this. Matthew chapter 15 verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So yes, this is another big thing where YAHAWASHI was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And even then, you have these people that say that make the claim that YAHAWASHI was not an Israelite. He was a man of all race. He looked like all races and stuff like that. But in actuality, they really don't believe that. They know that he was an Israelite. But this is just in general. They know that he was an Israelite. They just lie and say that. Or they lie to themselves primarily to say that, in order to accept that whole universalism doctrine type shit, where it's just like you're constantly disregarding facts rather than rather than they're disregarding facts to appeal to their own emotions, okay, or the emotion that Esau dictates is right. Matthew chapter 10 verse 5. These 12 YAHAWASHI sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go now into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So yes, once again, YAHAWASHI was sent for the Israelites specifically. And then I was going to end off with this. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 14, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro, carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. And that's the main thing. You have these Jakes, these older Jakes that have grown up thinking that Esau's a way. Oh my God, let me get that. That's a good precept. Sirach chapter 9 verse 11. Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. Okay, so you had Jake, as I was saying before, you got Jake that grew up believing that Esau's way was right, and they were basically envying the way Esau lives, and they don't understand nor do they know the end of how Esau is, even though he is thriving now. He is rich. He is at the top right now, but they don't know what his end is waiting for him, and they don't know how his way of life, the consequences of his way of life, because it has not come yet. All right, so this is just an important thing to take note of and to remember. Going on down the line, Slocky for the mix mash of the 3 different separate topics. Okay, so Yahawadah, you were edified and you got something out of this. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah Ba'Hashem, Yahawashi Ba'Hashem, Rakwak B'Dash, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Abadabal, and Shalom.